feels so funny to me because when you were here last, I guess you were 20 then, so it wasn't that long ago, but we've watched you just really just take over the world, basically. I mean, your album here is like what, #1 in like 90 countries or something?
100.
100 million countries or something? What is it? I mean, it's a lot.
Thanks.
That's got to feel so empowering.
Yeah, definitely. It's amazing. I feel like I don't even really have time to process it. So until people say something like that to me, when you say it to me, you know, I take a second and I'm like, wow, and I really enjoy it. But otherwise, I try not to. I'm not looking at it all the time. But it's definitely incredible.
Well, you were nervous for this, I'm sure, putting out this debut album. You had to be intimidated in some respects, and you don't know what to expect. Yeah,
like the night before it came out, I told my mom, I was like, I think we should just stop. We should just not release it. Like I literally got so nervous.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, and I was like, we should just not release it. Call Roger. We just unfortunately we have to pull the plug. Like I just can't. I can't release it.
And even with the success of Havana at that time, you were still having those nerves?
Yeah.
Huh.
I know.
Well, what did Mom say? Because your parents have been incredibly supportive. Your younger sister is a star on Musically, by the way.
Oh my God.
Yeah, isn't she awesome?
I'm telling her to not put it on public, but she still puts it on
she's
public.
She's a star. So what did Mom and Dad say to you at that point? Because I know they've had their ups and downs throughout life, and starting over is something that your family's never been afraid of. So what did they tell you?
Well, I talked to my mom about it, and she was just like, you're being crazy. You're just nervous.
Okay.
Relax. And I kind of talked myself through it, and I was in the shower for like 3 hours, just like... like staring,
just chilling out in the shower. Sure.
Yeah, and I was like, well, because I think what happens to me is that I always know that can be something better, but that always happens to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so I think I was just nervous, and I was like, imagine you not putting these songs out. Would that really make you happy? And I would be like, no, I want to put these songs out. Like these songs are so special to me. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna let go. You just have to know when to just.
And just
like,
try.
Okay, that's over, and just let go, and just sit back and enjoy, and and close the chapter.
And you did it.
I did
Congrats.
it. Chapter is closed.
Does the success automatically make you shake off some of those nerves? Like, okay, I can do this, obviously.
No, because it's not really nervous. Like, oh, I'm afraid it's not gonna, it's not really about the. It's not that I'm afraid of like the statistics. I think it's just kind of like I feel like I could have done this better, and I could have had one more song.
Gotcha.
But are you a control freak in that respect?
Yeah, for
you are.
sure.
Okay.
There's a song called "She Loves Control."
Yeah.
On the album.
Dude, I've listened to the entire album. I think it's fantastic.
Oh, thanks.
And you know what I thought was interesting too, and tell me if I got this wrong. It wasn't like bam, 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 we're gonna dance the entire way. There's a lot of mid-tempo songs, and just kind of you feel a vibe listening to the album.
Yeah. Well, I feel like it's kind of like if you just. For example, if you just give somebody a whole plate of candy, like just candy, you also have to give them rice and chicken so that they can appreciate the candy.
Right. Otherwise, it's just bleh.
Yeah. Otherwise, then you're just like, oh, I don't want any more chocolate.
Highs and lows.
Just, you know what I mean?
Right.
Well-balanced meal of chicken, rice, and candy.
I feel like it's a pretty well-balanced meal.
Yeah. No,
and I also don't think, even though I feel like after Havana, probably a lot of people wanted me to choose Havana Part 2 as the next single.
Sure. Yeah.
And I chose to go with Never Be the Same because I just feel like it's not the right portrayal of me if I just went with just Havana, She Loves Control, Inside Out, like those kinds of songs, because I'm not just that. And I'm also not just the emo stuff either. You know what I mean? It's
No, I understand what you're saying.
You know what my resolution is for this year?
What?
Is to stop saying you know what I mean in interviews.
How's it working out?
I've said it twice.
That's not bad.
I know, but I've thought of it because there's so many clips of me doing interviews and I'm saying, you know what I mean, like every 3 seconds.
That's so common, though, with a lot of people. So you're not the only one.
I know, but then I look, it's literally, sometimes these are like 5-minute interviews. And I'm like, there's 3 minutes of me saying, you know
Can
what
I buzz
I mean?
you if you say it again?
Yeah,
Here? Okay.
no,
Where's the bell?
I'm telling you because I want you to I really need to
help
get
you
good
out
at
in this
this.
respect.
Yeah.
We can help you out. We'll go to break so you can kind of reset here and everything.
Okay, that's great.
But I'd like to ask a favor.
Yeah.
For you not to say it as often as possible because it's going to be annoying if he's ringing that bell and he, see, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's not great.
He will do it and it'll drive all of us crazy.
Yeah.
Camila Cabello in the studio. Will be right back. It is Valentine in the morning. It's Valentine in the morning. Camila Cabello in the studio.
Whoa.
Hi.
Hi.
We have a question for you. Jill said you would tell us who.
No. I said
Didn't
she
you tell
would
me she said
not. No,
She totally would. Why wouldn't she say it?
I said I want to know, but she's not going to say.
I'm guessing that she's right.
Yes. Thank you.
Who's your favorite singer right now?
Oh,
that is not it.
No, it's Ed Sheeran probably. Anyway, are you doing that song with Ed, the boy?
Oh,
is that what it was?
Well, it didn't make this album because, which is so insane and crazy for me to say because I love him, and I was like,
yeah. He's like an inspiration to songwriting wise.
Yes.
Right.
No, you don't understand. I love him. I know all the words to all of his songs. And when I was 16, he tweeted something, and a fan like did it on a painting, and it's in my room still.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's true.
Man.
Speaking of Twitter and being younger and stuff, did you used to run a One Direction fan Twitter account?
Yeah.
Sorry for bringing it up.
No, that's okay.
You did?
Yeah.
I did not know. You were so into 1D, you ran a fan account for them?
Yeah.
Did they ever reach out to you and say thank you or anything?
No, I hope they'd never know.
Oh, it's out there.
Well, yeah, but I just hope that they, if they have heard it, I hope that they quickly forget.
Well,
yeah,
it's going to be out there a lot. You know what I mean?
Nice.
I don't get belled on that
well,
one.
I actually don't think I'm going to get belled because now I know. You know what
You're
I mean?
thinking, okay.
Was that not intentional?
It kind of slipped out, and I knew that it was happening.
So what we were talking about before, and Jill says you're not going to tell us, and that's totally fine because I respect your privacy. In the Dark, the song about that guy that you bumped into backstage at the Grammys.
Yeah.
And he's got all the fake friends because that's what the lyrics talk about, run around the fake friends.
Yeah.
Is it tough to have friends right now in industry for you, real friends?
I feel like, well, the more that when I did that song and I played it for I feel like I have real friends, but it was just, it's hard in LA, and it's also hard when you're constantly surrounded by the industry kind of people, because people just look at you as, a singer or whatever.
The girl on the stage.
Yeah, and not just like a 20-year-old girl.
Right.
You know what I mean? No, that wasn't intentional.
And seriously, that $1,000 donation for every bell, that was very nice of you. That was super nice of you. Thank you very much. But I know what you're saying. You're not just the girl on the stage. You're a woman off that stage, too. You have hopes, dreams, aspirations, and weaknesses and strengths like everybody.
Yeah, and
they just see Camila.
Yeah, sometimes. And it's not just with me. I feel like between each other, sometimes it's hard to get away from just talking about something that isn't music, talking just like, like kids.
Yeah.
But the more that when I played it for my friends and family in Miami, I feel like everybody has felt that way at some point or another. I mean, I feel like I even felt that way when I was in high school.
Sure.
Like my freshman year of high school. And my friend, one of my best friends, Jenny, I played her the song and she was like crying and she was like, I'm just sad that, you ever felt like that or whatever. But she was telling me that she moved from Argentina and she was like, when I came to the United States for a couple years, I felt like that too. Like I felt like I kept getting disappointed by people. And so, yeah, that was just kind of like a phase where that's a pretty common theme in the album, is just being in LA and just kind of not, because I would go to the studio and then I would sleep and then I would go back to the studio and I just didn't really have a social life.
Right. Which leads me to another question in that respect.
Yeah.
Because last time we saw you was over at Stargate. Did you record the album over at Stargate?
Oh my gosh, remember?
Yeah. Alana, the Make-A-Wish young lady.
That girl, her song was so good.
Dashiki Woman.
So
it was great, wasn't it?
What was the title again? It was
Dashiki Woman.
Yes.
Yeah. She's very talented.
So talented.
So you were very busy. You were over at Stargate working on the album and stuff like that. Leading me to the question about that personal life right after the break. It's Valentine in the morning. Camila Cabello in the studio. The album is fantastic. Buy it. Enjoy it. It's really, really good.
Thanks.
Seriously.
Yeah, buy it.
Now,
Just kidding.
You're 20. I've read, because I'm imagining you at 15 years old in your room. You don't know where the path is going to go yet. You haven't really come out musically yet. You're a 15-year-old girl singing into a hairbrush, maybe. I don't know. You didn't realize this was going to be in front of you.
Do people do that?
Singing the hairbrushes?
I think, well, actually, yeah, I think I did. I take
still
that
do.
back. Yeah, I take
Do you
that
really?
back.
Yeah, sometimes.
Oh, that's so cute.
It's fun, yeah.
You're growing up, but how are you with interacting with guys, with boys? Are you a little bit shy in that respect?
Such a good question. Well, actually, I was talking about this with my manager and my mom the other day, because we went to this restaurant and we were talking about like our elementary school and middle school crushes. And while I was telling them, I realized all of these crushes that I had, I didn't even talk to them before. Like I was like, oh, I like this guy. His name was Matthew. And then I also like this guy, Javi. And then I was like, most of these guys, they didn't even know my name when I was in school. Like I always crushed from afar.
Right.
And I was very, very shy. Didn't know how to interact with guys at all. I would get super awkward, super nervous. And so that's why I just kind of didn't. And I just, admired from afar.
Right.
But I feel like lately I think that I'm less like that. I don't know why. I think it's just because maybe I've been watching a lot of Sex in the City.
Okay.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Binge watching?
Binge. I met Sarah Jessica Parker yesterday
Oh.
at Ellen, and I told her, I was like, Carrie Bradshaw is a legend, an icon, and a queen.
What part are you at right now in the show?
I'm on season 6A, episode 12.
Oh, my gosh.
So then who's the love interest at the moment?
Right now, Big just had open heart surgery.
Okay.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. Do you know how the show ends? Do you know?
I saw the first movie.
Okay.
Does that tell how it ends? The first movie tells it? Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So you're interacting. It's getting better based on Sex and the City.
It's getting better because I think I just take it less seriously.
Right.
And I've realized that before, if I were to hang out with a guy that I would just, it was more about infatuation than me actually knowing the guy. And so by the time I would actually hang out with somebody, I had built up this like idea in my head. And then I would hang out with them and I would just get disappointed.
It wasn't what you expected.
Yeah, because it wasn't really real. And so now I'm like, I wait until it's a real, till I really know this person.
Yeah.
For it to be a real emotion and for it to really...
That's smart.
See,
Yeah,
I
that's
love
like-
this because this is probably something you don't talk about quite often, your interaction with guys.
Yeah.
I would assume you're not having this question on every single interview. Are you, nervous when you're around guys that you have a crush on or something like that?
Yeah.
And here's, your little sister and other girls, younger, listening. Sophia's hearing this and going, okay, if I'm nervous around guys too or whatever, I can be confident. I can grow into that confident woman that sits before us.
And also I've realized, what's the point if you're hanging out with somebody and you're not really being yourself?
Right.
What's the point? Because then that's not fun.
Right.
So I've just learned you just got to kind of be yourself. And then whoever clicks with you. And if not, then it's better that it didn't work out anyway. But it's better to know the sooner the better.
And that's a good rule for people on like dating apps and stuff that are putting this fake front out there.
Right,
And you meet the person and you're completely different,
It doesn't work out.
Be real.
And it's a waste of time. Then you
totally.
just waste your time. But I feel like that part of my life, I feel like I've gotten a lot better at. And it's my New Year's resolution to just be kind of more daring. Not just with, not just like in love, but just in life, whether it's, me going to hang out with friends, even if I'm tired, even if I'm, you know what I mean? Like
I'm just
pushing
gonna
myself.
put the bell away, by the way. Just
Oh,
just-
man.
Oh, was it time for the bell again?
Okay, got it.
Oh my
Thank
gosh,
you
you're
for
in the
letting me know
bell.
anyway. Yeah, I'm going to work on it. But yeah, pushing myself to be, more comfortable
Courageous.
with
Get out there.
new things.
Be you.
Yeah.
Camila es valentia.
What?
Es valentia.
What's that?
Courage? Do you have courage?
Oh, Valentia.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mi español
Got
es muy malo, pero estoy estudiando.
No, that's good.
Gracias.
Yeah, that's great.
Now, Jill.
Killed it.
Jill's half Mexican. I know more Spanish than she does.
I don't speak Spanish.
Wow.
Isn't that funny?
I wish I did. I know. I tried. I could speak fluent Spanish in college because it was all Spanish.
Oh, wow.
And I remembered at the time.
You spoke fluent Spanish in college?
Yes.
Then you would pick it up so easily.
I can't remember anything. Once
Well,
I
you
stopped.
can't remember, but if you started to watch Spanish movies again, I'm sure you would.
Yeah.
If you immersed yourself in it, you'd
Yeah,
probably
you
get
would
it.
pick it up. It's kind
Go
of like
visit
a
your
thing-
cousins.
I know. I understand when everybody's talking, but
Right.
I just can't speak it.
You totally can. That doesn't make sense. If you spoke fluently, then that part of your brain is still there. You just got to like wake it up.
My brain is it's bad.
Strange way to end the interview, isn't it? My brain is bad. What else on the horizon for you? We
Me
talked
when
about
I
the
don't
album.
sleep.
Anything else? Oh, really? Anything else coming up you want to talk about?
Oh, well, I just performed on Ellen yesterday.
Ellen's the best.
We
isn't
watched
she?
that.
You
We
did?
love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was cool, right?
It was
Yeah.
very
So
cool.
good.
I
So
really
good.
liked the performance. Like,
Yeah.
it was one of my favorites that I've done for Havana.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was great.
You were talking with Ellen about performing at New Year's Eve when
Oh,
it was
yeah.
And
negative 30
the
degrees.
warmers down below.
Yeah.
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 That one probably not so fun.
What? The performing in the cold?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was really not.
No.
No, it was actually the actual performance was fine because it was just 5 minutes, but the sound check was 30 minutes, and I was like, I can't feel my face.
Okay. You were correct, by the way. You said negative 100 wind chill.
Yeah.
Now, it wasn't negative 100 wind chill in New York City that day, but it was on a mountaintop in New Hampshire because I have relatives that live in the area. So that negative 100 that Ellen tried to correct you on, like, oh, it'd never be negative 100. You were correct.
It happened.
Everybody made fun of me for that backstage, too.
100% correct. I'm telling you the truth.
My mom was like, who told her that it was
You heard it in the news or something like that, so it was just in your head, but you were correct.
Wow. Well, I wasn't in a mountaintop in New Hampshire, so I kind of wasn't, but thank you.
You're welcome. Camila Cabello.
I appreciate that.
Thank you for coming in.
Thanks, guys.